Dorothy Day, the founder of the Catholic Worker House, once said, "No one has a right to sit down and feel hopeless. There's too much work to do." So we gather here at this worksite this evening because we have work to do here. The work of making sure the name of every construction worker who needlessly dies on the job is not forgotten. The work of making sure every single construction worker who shows up for work in the morning will find a work site that is as safe and as humane as it can possibly be. The work of making sure every construction worker who works in Austin is paid for every single minute worked and paid the legal wage to which that worker is entitled. No one has a right to sit down and feel hopeless. There's too much work to do. So we gather at this work site this evening because we refuse to sit down while workers in our city needlessly die on the job. We refuse to sit down while workers in our city are needlessly injured on the job because of employers' negligence. We refuse to sit down while workers in our city have their wages stolen from them. Wages they need to support their families, wages they earned to put food on their dinner tables and to clothe their children. No one has a right to sit down and feel hopeless. There's too much work to do. We gather here this evening because we are not hopeless. No, we are filled with hope. Together in solidarity with one another, working with one another, we are strong. We can change this city. We can make it a safer city, a more humane city, a more just city for the workers who are building it. So as we gather here this evening, we ask God to bless our work, to bless every worker here, to strengthen our hope, and to enable us to stand strong with one another, never stopping until our work is done.
Vivo en un país libre, cual solamente puede ser libre. En esa tierra, en este instante, y soy feliz porque soy gigante. Amo una mujer clara que amo y me ama, sin pedir nada o casi nada, que no es lo mismo, pero es igual. Y si esto fuera poco, tengo mis cantos que poco a poco vuelo y rehago habitando al tiempo. Como le cuadra a un hombre despierto. Soy feliz, soy un hombre feliz y quiero que me perdonen por este día los muertos de mi felicidad. Soy feliz, soy un hombre feliz y quiero que me perdonen por ese día los muertos de mi felicidad.
Our next speaker is Filimon Salas, who also worked here at 21 Rio, and he's going to talk a little bit about the issue of the wages that were not paid to him.
Sí, bueno, mi nombre es Filimon Salas y...
Hello, my name is Filimon Salas, and I used to work here in this 21 Rio building.
Nosotros estuvimos trabajando arriba de entre 65 y 70 horas por semana.
We used to work 60 to 75 hours per week in these buildings. We didn't mind the danger of the working conditions in these buildings. We worked, we did our part, yet they didn't pay us for the hours that they said that they were going to pay us. Safety wasn't very good here in this building. We would advise our superiors about safety issues, but they never took our complaints seriously. What we want to do is create a consciousness and awareness in the owner's building. We want our wages paid. We have a need for our wages. We have our families, we have our children. You know, just imagine if we work for them and don't get paid, what are we supposed to do? We did our work, and what we're asking for is to get paid. The last 2 weeks that we worked, right, when the accident occurred, we were not paid for that work. I thank you all for coming here and for your support, because I know that if we all support each other, things are going to improve here in this city. Thank you.
I'm going to speak for a second on the problem of wage theft. In the Bible, we read one of the most fundamental commands that exists. Thou shalt not steal. All of the world's religious traditions teach us stealing what does not belong to you is wrong. Even those who are not religious know deep down inside that stealing is wrong. This includes stealing a worker's wages. To steal a worker's wage is to steal money not only from the worker, but from the worker's family as well. To steal a worker's wage is to steal food off the worker's dinner table. It's to steal clothing from the worker's children. It's to steal the worker's future and the future of his children. Not only does the worker suffer, the worker's family suffers. Thou shalt not steal. To steal is wrong. And to steal is a crime. This worksite is a crime scene. $50,000 were stolen from workers at this site. And there are crime scenes like this one all over Austin. 1 out of 5 construction workers in Austin claim their employers have stolen wages from them. We will not sit down while the wages of workers are stolen and their families suffer. We will not tolerate crime scenes like this one all over our city. We will not stop our work until every worker is guaranteed that the money that worker earns will be paid and is not stolen. It is wrong, and we won't tolerate it in our city.
Yo me llamo Juanito Mirabal.
Hello, my name is Juanito Miramal. I'm here on behalf of my coworkers, whom I remember a lot.
Para pedir más seguridad en los trabajos, para que no pase más como accidentes como pasó en este trabajo.
I'm here today on behalf of my coworkers, and to ask and to see that these accidents do not continue like the accidents that they experienced.
Yo pediría a OSHA que haya más control en los trabajos.
And I asked OSHA today, to look into, to stop these kinds of accidents from continuing to happen. That's all I have to say. I don't want to talk more because I would have to remember, and it's very painful for me to do so.
And I'm the pastor of the Congregational Church right down the street, and I've been working with Workers' Defense Project for a number of years, and a number of the faith communities here in Austin support their work, and I want to reflect very briefly on how our faith does impact our work for workers' justice. To those of us who are of the Christian faith tradition, our spiritual ancestors in the Bible were construction workers in Egypt, laboring without pay, their wages stolen by Pharaoh, suffering and dying, and calling out to their God for help. Their God sent them a prophet named Moses to liberate them and lead them to a land of justice. Our spiritual ancestors include other prophets like Amos, Isaiah, Micah, Ezekiel, who responded to the exploitation of working men and women by calling on the exploiters to stop stealing the wages of the workers, and by calling for justice to rush through the land like a mighty river. Our spiritual ancestors include a woodworker named Jesus, who called on people to love God with all their heart, mind, and strength, and their neighbors as themselves. Our spiritual ancestors and the Spirit of God call us to respond right now to the injustices in our land. The injustice of workers whose wages are stolen and whose workplaces are unsafe. This evening, we have responded. And like the prophets of old, we lift our voices to proclaim, let justice roll down like a mighty river, and righteousness like an ever-flowing stream.